Now, according to Gallup, alcohol consumption is at a quarter-century high, and one of the most popular beverages, especially at home, is wine. But do you know enough about what you're imbibing? And if not, well, this is your lucky day. We're joined by a certified master of wine, one of just 4 women in the world to hold that title. I want to welcome Jennifer Simenotti-Bryan. Jennifer just issued a new DVD series called The Everyday Guide to Wine, so you're very well qualified to help us understand what's going on. Why do you think that we're seeing this popularity, this rise in popularity of wine right now?
Well, I think there is more interest in wine than there's ever been before. Wine is a really hot topic. There is so many wine social websites that are out there right now. Look at the startup of snooth.com, bottlenotes.com, looking at localwineevents.com, Corked TV. I mean, even looking at Wine Library TV. Gary Vaynerchuk has like over 800,000 Twitter followers. So it's really more and more people are talking about wine.
Is this because people are becoming more educated about it, or is there an economic factor? I mean, they must be switching from one thing as opposed to another. If they're drinking wine, they're not drinking something else.
One of the trends that's going on right now, it used to be premiumization was the buzzword that was happening in the industry.
Premiumization, what's that?
Yeah, I'm looking at more luxury brands. So, you know, the $25 and above was the area that people looked at for a long time because the economy was doing really well. Now the buzzword is polarization. So people are now looking at like the $15, maybe $10 and below. And then you've got those that are really, really high, so the first growth Bordeaux. So there's a kind of a gap there. So that's why the new buzzword is polarization.
So there's not that much interest in what's going on in the middle. So only high end or low end. But is value, in other words, the idea being that whatever you're going to pay for, you want to make sure that you're getting good value for your money.
Absolutely. When I had seen you last in December, that was, that was the name of the game. Everyone wants to make sure that what they get inside that bottle is true value of what they're paying for. So. But when I had seen you last, I had worked for Remy Cointreau USA, and now I'm independent. I now work for myself and working on some amazing projects.
Well, I know you've written some books and you're putting together some DVDs. How do people learn without actually going to classes, let's say, to pair certain types of wine with certain types of food? Because you were talking about these online applications. Is this a situation where you just type in the name of what you want to eat and then it comes up with various selections from the database?
There are certain websites like snooth.com has an algorithm that they use in order to look at. If you type in certain recipes and certain wines come up, that's their myrecipes.com. So they can, but I think people are very intimidated by going to a class, and I think that's what people like about these social websites, because people get to talk to people about what they're tasting and what they like, and that's why we created the DVD course, The Everyday Guide to Wine by The Great Courses. Now, these people, they create courses on everything. They're the #1 media company for college-level courses and lifelong learning. And they test 700 concepts a year. And they only choose 1 out of 5,000 professors. So I feel really privileged to have been chosen as one of them. So they're really about integrity and all about all the intelligence that they put behind everything, all the fact-checking behind this. So it's really fantastic. It's 24 episodes, and we start out in the beginning with having my secrets on how to taste wine and getting the most out of every glass.
Have you seen, for example, a predilection for American wine over imported wine? Have we seen any trends in terms of what people are actually drinking in terms of geography?
Well, most of the time people are drinking in the United States. I think it's 1 out of every 4 bottles is foreign. So that means 3/4 of everything that's being chosen right now is domestic. So people are really gravitating towards the California wines. Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Jennifer Simenotti-Bryan, coming in and sharing some insight into what's happening in the industry of wine and also the Everyday Guide to Wine. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.